All right, pardon the mess, but we're going to do an unboxing of the WeBoost Connect 65 RV, Connect RV 65, sorry. Today comes in a pretty good sized box, looks nothing like what I purchased online, but obviously is the correct product. We're going to be doing some more long-term and full-time RVing, and connectivity is the number one major solution we're going to solve. All right, let's see what's in the box. We've got the outside antenna, 30 foot of coax, all labeled with the steps, which is nice. Another mount, or another, I guess it's describing the steps, not what's in the boxes. On all of them anyway. Two 15-foot coax with some barrels. Step 2. Extend the pole. That looks like it's going to be the pole mounts on the side of RV. Now I'm not sure if we're going to do that because we don't know if we're going to be in this RV for much longer, so we will see. Step 3 and step 5, power supplies, it looks like. Yep, or that's actually the interior antenna, I believe. We've got, that's an actual single power supply. And then it looks like the rest of what's in here is the pole itself. So it's packed really well. There was actually a pretty good ding in the box, but luckily it was on the non-pole side here. Yeah, it looks like a pretty sturdy pole. You've got the mounts that hook into the RV itself, it looks like there. And this is packed really well. So it's about 6 feet, I believe, 70 inches, 72, 76 inches, something like that. Unpacked, and yeah, there we go. Okay, so I'm not going to follow the instructions completely because I actually am going to do a test run inside. It's a little rainy today, so we're probably not going to put it on the RV today, and we actually don't want to permanently mount it to the RV because this is probably not our forever RV. So this is the, oh, well, that's discouraging. I don't know if you can see that, but there is a little ding there. I will see if that affects any sort of quality. It looks like I actually may have gotten something that was returned. I hope that's not the case, but we will test it, and I may go ahead and contact them about that. So mounting hardware for mounting it to the pole here. That one just has the antenna in it, the exterior antenna. 700 megahertz to 2700 megahertz wideband directional antenna, high gain directional pipe mounting hardware, blah blah blah. So I don't know, this may help somebody if you want to see what comes with it. Starts the instructions. Box 2, this is the base for the pole, and the 3M sticky pads for mounting on the actual RV, which again, we're probably not going to put these on. Right now my plan is to hopefully mount it by connecting it to the bumper and the spare tire off the back bumper. So we'll definitely need this. These, don't think we're going to use those quite yet. This is 3 and 5. So this is your actual interior. Oh, it wants me to register it, so I guess I'll do that here in a little bit too. They've got their own little QR code. Neat. So this goes inside and actually does the connection. Run it from the outside to the inside. Got some power adapter, cool. And then 4. This is also goes inside the camper. And I think this is the actual output antenna. So it has a mounting plate, female and a male mounting plate for hanging it on the wall. And again, we're probably not going to mount this right now because we don't want to mount it on this RV. But we are definitely going to test it and use it in the RV as best we can without actually hard mounting it to everything. Simple enough. Two cables, and a flat cable for going between the slide. That's what they recommend. They recommend pushing it through the slide rubber, and this is where they send you that to keep it as flat as possible, to keep as much waterproofing out in that as possible. And then last but not least, this is the power supply for the hardware power supply. This is the power supply for this bad boy, I believe. No, this is not power. That's just an antenna. So this is the power supply for the actual antenna. Looks like. Cool. That's the unboxing. So we have an antenna, pole base, actual unit with power supply, interior antenna, cable, and then of course the pole. So overall, not a huge system, and just a few pieces of technology that you're paying for, and that'll hopefully keep us connected. Okay, so now we're going to actually do the connecting part of this. And we're just going to keep it on the ground. And I know where the closest cell tower is. I used the One Signal, I believe, app to find it last night. Well, I already knew where it was, but to tell me that that app will tell you which one you're actually connected to, and all kinds of good little goodies. It'll do speed tests, it'll do signal strength tests, all kinds of stuff. So definitely check that out if you're doing one of these. All right, so we are going to follow the directions on here. Mount the outside antenna, which we're not doing yet, using the U-bolts, and connect the coax cable to the antenna. So naturally, I'm not 100% sure if this is the coax cable. 30-foot cable provided to connect the outside antenna to the booster. So that is going to come, maybe, there we go. All right, so that's step 1. This is step 2, but we're going to skip that. Determining where to mount it. It says to mount it near a slide, so you can go through the slide if possible. And then step 3 is to find a location on the RV to place the booster inside the RV and connect a cable from outside antenna to port on booster labeled outside antenna. Easy enough. Outside antenna. Okay. Connect. Okay, we're not connecting the power supply yet until step 5. 4, mount the inside antenna using included 3M strips. Be sure to have adequate distance from the outside antenna refer to full. Okay, so that is one thing they say, to make sure you have distance between all your antennas, essentially. So one, I tell you to mount it there. They have instructions on mounting it, much better than here, or much better than the little steps, which is nice. So here it says, mounting the inside antenna, be sure you have adequate distance from the outside antenna. So they want your inside antenna to be as far away from your outside antenna as possible. I don't know what adequate means. I think they tried to say 15 or 20 feet in the video I watched, but I could be lying to you there too. All right. So this may not work at all during a test. I may have to run it into the other room. But I will, we're just going to see how it goes here. Guess I should read and see if there's any warnings. Is inadequate distance going to blow my house up, or nah? There's a safety pin to make sure it doesn't fall. That's nice. Yeah, so that looks like it. We're going to steal one of these guys. They give you two 15-footers with a coupler, which is nice. So if you don't need all 30 feet, you can remove one and it'll still have less clutter, which is super nice. Not something you see with all of these. That's just a nice thought process, right? Good user experience. Now we're connected to the booster from the big antenna. The exterior antenna that's going to reach out and touch the actual cell tower, and then we're boosting it, and then we're sending it to our interior antenna. And now we have to turn everything on. This must be to power it from not an AC adapter. Open Signal, that is the app that tells you to use. Yeah, so there is only the one powered option. This must just be to run it from the battery or something. I'm not sure. I'm not gonna lie to you here. Input 12 to 24 volts, output 5 volt DC, current max 3,000 milliamps. Let's plug this bad boy in and see what we get. Okay, let's break everybody's cell connection in the house. We're green. Green, red. Green, red. Green, red. So we're connected. I'm going to check the phone. 4 greens means that it's in all bands. All bands are being recorded. So quick update. After a little testing, there's nothing definitive here. I'm not doing this properly. It's just sitting on my office floor. But when I did connect it and point it different directions, it did receive and lose signals when pointed to and away from the different cell towers here locally. And my signal did boost from my phone, which I don't know if that's a technical indicator that the actual signal from the tower is better, or if it's just my signal to the WeBoost sitting right here on the floor, which that may be the case. But I did get a little bit faster test speeds when connected, so that's promising. But obviously, we will have to test it in the field before before we know definitively and specifically out in the middle of nowhere where we don't get signal, to see if we can get signal and see what kind of speeds we get. So that's the preliminary testing and unboxing of the WeBoost Connect RV 65 system. Quick update on the little defects I found on the antennas here. This one had a nick in it. Definitely looks like it was dropped or used. And then this one has all kinds of little scratches and nicks that look like it was attempted to be mounted somewhere previously, but everything was sealed from the factory. I bought it from Walmart to get it here quickly, but everything was sealed from the factory as far as the boxes with the WeBoost tape and instructions on it. So went ahead and gave them a call. They tried to tell me to take it back to Walmart. I told them to that it was all sealed with their seals, and she pretty much immediately offered to send me 2 free replacement antennas with no sort of I don't need to ship these back, just keep them as spares. So I'm pretty happy with that response. The phone call only took a couple minutes, so good job, WeBoost. So I'll show you guys how this works here on the RV. Now, we've had it for some time, and what I did was I mounted the mounts to this side of this RV, one up there, one right there, so that it would go just between my window here and this generator compartment, which was kind of tricky, but it fit perfectly. And then I just what you do is you just run the coax from the Yagi antenna up there through one of your slides with this flat ribbon cable, and I'll show you inside. It's a little tricky because of the way that our rig is set up. There's a door right on that side of the slide, so we have to kind of time it when we're putting the slide out for the first time when we get somewhere. And this is, let's see, watch out, dog. And so we have, you okay there, bud? I'm fine. So we have this door here, and so I run that ribbon cable right here whenever Michelle is running the slide out, but you can see I don't have a whole lot of room. So I kind of have to get over here when I can, because I can't squeeze in here when the slide's in, and then push it through there, and then I run it up over here, and then I've got just some of these little tabby doodles that run along the edge, and then one of these days I might clean this up, but the actual booster is mounted to the wall in there with just some double-sided tape, I believe. Yeah, so the coax runs in here, out of the other side, and then runs along here, and then little tabby doodles, and then there is our interior antenna that's pushing out the signal inside. So yeah, that's how I've got it. Now I wanna take some coax 90-degree angles and make this, you know, much better, but honestly, it doesn't seem worth it. It's out of our way. For the most part, we power it out of this little extension. We double-sided tape to the wall that runs all kinds of powering devices, and then yeah, so that is the WeBoost. I think since I got it and since I'm finishing this video here, they literally released another one, so that's probably even better now, but I definitely recommend it. I can kind of show you guys what we're getting out of it here. if this will render on TV. But right now we're in South Carolina. It's I'm getting 13 down and 4.7 up, which is not a lot. But I'm also connected to a VPN, and it's been plenty. It's been totally enough to work. But the important thing is it has been able to boost our signal everywhere. Colorado, Texas, obviously, Mississippi, Louisiana, Florida. We've been able to work everywhere we've gone, and I run a marketing agency, so I need decent bandwidth, and it's been sufficient to get that job done. And then, I pair it. Originally, I was pairing it with a Mophie 4500, and the last time we were in Texas, I broke down and went ahead and upgraded to the new Mophie 5500, which does 5G and everything, and we're running everything off of a just an AT&T business line, and I have a backup Verizon, or not Verizon, but oh shoot, what is the name of it? I don't use it, so I don't remember the name of it. It's a Verizon subsidiary card, Visible Wireless. There you go. So that they run on the Verizon network. So if I have really bad AT&T somewhere, I can throw that on there and get by. But we haven't actually had to do that yet. So hooray there. Yeah, that's about all I can think of. The Mophie 5500s, the new ones are awesome. They're plug and play. The 4500s, you had to do a bunch of configuring and things like that to really get it to work, depending on which carrier you were using and everything like that. And it was a pain in the butt, but I plopped this one in and it just worked. So that was awesome. But yeah, that's about all I can think about on the WeBoost. I think that covers it. Can recommend. Haven't had any issues in the wind or the rain or anything like that. If it's really windy, I typically pull down the pole a few rungs just to make sure it's a little more stable. The double-sided tape that it came with for the little mounting brackets, those came off pretty quickly, and I've replaced them with heavy-duty stuff. You might do that right out of the box if you're getting one of these. I would recommend doing that. Otherwise, I think that's it. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below, and we'll get those answered for you. But it's fairly straightforward, and it works.